What's up guys, I'm weezlbpro and today I'm going to show you the loadout of my exploration Anaconda. As you can see, the current jump range is 71.84 and it's that high because right now it's completely empty. So just to clear that up, it is completely empty. So as you can see, absolutely no hard points, absolutely no utility slots, and then optional internal, there's nothing there. So I usually do this, and then once I get to this point, now I can start adding stuff and figuring out, how much range I want to sacrifice, how much power I'm gonna need, and so I always kind of gut everything out and then start at a base level and see what I can do. So I have unlocked all the engineers, so that makes things a whole lot easier because engineering is definitely what gets you up to such a high range. I'm going to start off by showing you the core internals. So in core internals, the lightweight alloys, I'm not really sure why this doesn't have a mass. Like it doesn't tell you how much this actually weighs. So if you look at the modification I put on, it's a lightweight armor, but it doesn't actually do anything. If I were to put this into storage, as you can see, my jump range doesn't change at all. Nothing changes. So don't bother actually engineering your lightweight alloys. I don't think it's gonna help. And then moving on, so power is it's also a big thing. So you can see with this, the mass of a 2D power plant, when it's engineered, I have it engineered so that it's putting out the most power it can, and then it's stripped down from mass. So you can see it was 1 ton, and then I just bought it down just 0.1, which isn't that much. So that's not stripped down power plant on a small. It's more like if I had an 8D power plant, the mass would be huge. So stripping it down would make more of a difference, but we're not going to be using such big power plants. So this obviously, I'm not going to be able to use this power plant right now because it's not going to have enough power for all the stuff that I want to add. So I use a 2A, and then it's got the exact same, I'm pretty sure it has the exact same modifications. Yeah, it's all the same. So this one is overcharged. It's only level 4, so I could make it level 5 to get a little bit more power, but I found that all the stuff that I want and that I need on it doesn't take up more power than 12.77 megawatts. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one on my ship. And then for thrusters, you obviously 5D thrusters is the lowest you can go, and then I have it engineered for stripped down, I'm pretty sure, and I only engineered, I only went to grade 3 because I don't really care about speed that much and I want to save my power draw, and when you engineer it more, the power draw goes up. So I'm saving on power there. You don't really need speed when you're doing exploration. Most of it is actually done in Super Cruise. So, and I have figured out how to get this to boost with a small power distributor. So obviously 6A frame shift drive, obviously grade 5 for range, and then I use mass manager. One day I went through and I kind of I went through a bunch of the experimental effects and I put every single one on, and the one that I found gave me the most range was the mass manager. So as far as the experimenting that I've done with FSD experimentals, mass manager was the best one. For life support, pretty sure I just stripped this down. Yeah, I just stripped this down. I don't know if there's a grade 5 there probably isn't a grade 5 lightweight life support option, which is why I probably only did it to level 4, which brings it from 8 tons down to 2.06 tons, which is pretty decent. Because for jump range, you just want to get rid of weight. So obviously a 1D power distributor is going to get you around, but it's not going to give you boost. And I figured out the lowest thing that you can get engineered to get boost is a 3A power distributor, and then it's engineered to be engine focused, I believe, and then I have it stripped. So yeah, engine focused and stripped down. And as you can see, its mass has only gone down 0.5 tons, which isn't huge, but it makes a decent difference. And what I find is, I don't know if you noticed, but the 3A power distributor doesn't actually take much more weight than the 1D power distributor. Like, I still have 71.22 light year range. This is the absolute biggest thing that makes the biggest difference out of everything. So if you look at the sensor modification, the stocks, like the sensors, 8D sensors, are 64 tons. When you strip them down all the way to be a lightweight scanner, so grade 5 lightweight scanner, you're looking at 12.8 tons, which is such a huge reduction that it makes the biggest difference on your jump range. And then I have a smaller fuel tank. If you have a big fuel scoop, you don't really need a big fuel tank, because you can kind of just jump star to star. As you fly around the star, you fill up completely. You don't have to worry about, how many jumps am I gonna, I could probably even use an 8, but I mean, there's really not that much. It doesn't make too much of a difference. If you use the biggest one, it'll make a bit more of a difference. But on your current range, like as you can see, it doesn't change my current range at all if I go lower or higher. But so you'll see that the jump minimum keeps changing, and that's because when you have almost an empty fuel tank, you can actually jump further because you weigh a lot less, and so that's why that moves around so much. But it actually doesn't matter that much, because if your fuel tank's empty, you can't really do a full jump anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So if you have a huge fuel scoop, then I guess you can use probably this fuel tank, which a 3C fuel tank is pretty small for an Anaconda. So I use the 4C, which is pretty much average, and then the 5C you could always, if you're finding out you're running out of fuel too often, then go ahead and put on the 5C tank. So that's about it for core internals. For optional internals, I kind of fill it up. So we'll start with scanners. I personally use the fast scanner. I had the long range scanner, and it didn't really, it didn't really make that much of a difference. I didn't feel it really was, like, I had to fly pretty close to the planet in order to scan it and stuff. And some planets are pretty small, so you gotta get really close to them. So I didn't really find that actually helped me much. I have these 2 other fast scanners, and one is because when you engineer these, they gain weight, and I'm pretty sure power draw. So just mass. So when you increase the speed of the scan, it's gonna, for some reason, it gains more weight. So I have 2 of them. I can either go between one or the other. This one is heavier than the other one, but I'm just going to use this one anyway, because it does scan a lot faster. So I'll use that. And then obviously advanced scanner, I don't believe you can engineer advanced scanners, so I'll just throw in a normal one. Wherever it is, I have a lot of modules stored. And then I'll probably add, I usually use shields, small shields, just to protect the hull in case any bumps or anything. I think I have, yeah, so I have a 3D shield, which is the smallest shield you can get on the Anaconda, and then I have it engineered so that it's enhanced low power shields and then stripped down for weight. So enhanced low power shields are pretty cool because they enhance the shield strength a bit, low power, and then you get to strip down. So it's, I mean, it's a win-win-win. So we'll put that on the ship. And then I'll probably fit an SRV because I like driving around planets. I think I have one in storage. Yes, I do. I think I have everything in storage. I've got I have a lot of modules in there. I'm probably going to take repair limpets just in case I do get into any problems and I hit something hard and my shields go down and I take a little bit of hull damage. I'll probably want to just repair it. Seeing as you can't repair hull damage with an AFMU, then might as well take some limpets. And if I maybe find something out there to pick up, I can have a little bit of cargo. Now, I'm just going to take a small cargo rack because I don't intend in picking up cargo. But I need a cargo rack in order to have limpets, and I want repair limpets, so just a small repair limpet because I'm not intending on taking too much damage here. Then I'm gonna put a fighter bay just in case for some security. There it is. I hope this is the right one. This one has the AX fighter. Yeah, there you go. And then I'll probably add, probably gonna need a fuel scoop for exploration. I have a 5, I think I have a 5A fuel scoop that I'm probably gonna want to use. Did I pass it already? Oh, no, here it is. There it is. Okay, so 5A scoop, which is pretty good. It scoops like over 500 whatever a second. We're gonna have to add an AMFU. Just, I use the neutron highway, and maybe you're the type of player who likes to leave their controller and jump into the sun, and so you can take a bunch of heat damage. So you're gonna want to repair your modules and stuff. So I'm going to use, I think I have a 5 something AMFU that works. So this is a 3D. I want a bigger one. I'm pretty sure my power can afford a 5D. Yeah, there's one. And then now keep in mind, I keep looking at my jump range. See how my jump range went down from 71.22, now it's down to 66.97, which is still great. I'm still touching on 67 light years here, and I mean, we're full. Like, we got everything you need to explore. I'm just thinking these last 2 slots, maybe you want to run some passengers, so you could put some passenger cabins in here. You can take some passengers to Sagittarius A or out to a black hole or something like that. I don't really know what else I'd put on here. I'm not expecting to pick anything up out there, so I won't take collector limpets. I don't need no shield banks or anything. I'm not gonna need hull reinforcement, or I could add an extra cargo rack but I'm not going to be picking up anything out there. So, I mean, there probably isn't anything that I would add. Maybe I would add an extra SRV, so get an SRV bay that can take 2 SRVs, just in case I get out there and there's no stations anywhere. It's always, if you're not going to be anywhere near a station or a docking place to restock an SRV, you probably want to take 2 with you just in case. I've fallen down some canyons and not made it out alive and lost the SRV, so it makes a difference. Other than that, I mean, I think in some updates upcoming, there's going to be some exploration type of modules coming out that are over and above. Maybe, you know, you can save these 2 slots for what's coming. Or until then, just run some passengers around or whatever. But I mean, as you can see, 66.97 light years, and I'm full. Like, I don't want to add anything else. So I have everything I want. And I have a much larger jump range still than the actual Explorer ships, or anything else. The ship is absolutely amazing when it comes to exploration. So yeah, that's my loadout. I think if you want, you can add some heat sinks. Those don't take very much anything. They might take too much power. No, just enough. So 1 heat sink will max me out. And some people add a bunch of heat sinks. You really don't have to, because 1 heat sink will bring your heat down really low, and then if you run out of heat sinks, I'm pretty sure you can just make more with just synthesize more. So I'll put that on the ship, and now as you can see, I'm completely full. Like, this power capacity is absolutely perfect. I'm 0.03 under, which is amazing. So that right there, it's probably, I mean, I would say it's the perfect ship loadout for exploration. Perfect, maybe used a little bit loosely, and I mean, optional internals is based on preference, so, but I think that is probably the best. So yeah, I hope this helps everybody. Any questions, just throw them down in the comments. If you have questions, I'll try and get to them. I try and be as thorough as possible so I don't have to answer questions, but I will answer them if you have some. And that's about it, wraps it up. So till next time.